The 2017-18 budget update shows an improvement in the deficit forecast for this financial year but predicts lower economic growth and a smaller increase in wages than was expected in the May budget. The deficit flat or 2017-18 is now expected to come in at $23.6 billion, an improvement of $5.8 billion from the May forecast, according to the mid-year economic and fiscal outlook released by Treasurer Scott Morrison and Finance Minister Mathias Cormann. Growth for this financial year is forecast to be 2.5% compared with the budget's 2.75%, reflecting recent lower-than-expected growth in household consumption. Nevertheless, Morrison and Cormann said Australia's growth story remains a compelling one, and although real GDP growth has been slightly tempered in 2017-18, the trajectory is upward. Real GDP is forecast to grow at 3% in 2018-19, the same as the budget number. Budget update on wages. The update notes that wage growth remains low by historical standards in both the public and private sectors and has been more subdued than expected since budget. Wages are forecast to increase by 2.25% through the year to the June quarter 2018 and 2.75% through the year to the June quarter 2019. This is 0.25 of a percentage point lower in both years compared with the budget, vindicating the skepticism that economists expressed about the budget forecast being too optimistic. The flat wages situation reflects a serious political pressure point for the government, as many people struggle with high power prices and other squeezes on their cost of living. Wage growth is forecast to lift as the economy strengthens, inflation picks up and excess capacity in the labor market is reduced, the update says. Budget receipts have been revised upwards by about $3.6 billion in 2017-18 at $2.8 billion over the forward estimates compared with budget time, driven mainly by company tax and superannuation tax. The company tax forecasts reflect increased profitability and enforcement activity by the Australian Taxation Office. But over the forward estimates, lower forecasts for wages and unincorporated business income are expected to weigh on individuals' income tax receipts, the update says. The half-yearly revised numbers confirm that the budget is on track to have a surplus in 2020-21. The projected surplus of $10.2 billion in the year is $2.7 billion better than estimated in May. Savings measures on education and welfare. The government has announced in the update a new welfare crackdown to save money and also an alternative higher education savings package after it could not pass its earlier proposals. Savings of $1.2 billion over 4 years will be reaped by broadening the criteria for waiting periods for new migrants before they can get various welfare benefits. The changes will extend the present 2-year waiting period for a range of payments, such as You Start, to 3 years, and introduce a consistent new 3-year waiting period to apply to a further number of benefits such as family tax benefit and paid parental leave. Social Services Minister Christian Porter said the measures will reinforce the foundational principle that Australians' expectation of newly arrived migrants is that they contribute socially and economically for a reasonable period before having access to our nation's generous welfare system.